bowls you see around the room signify the story of stone soup, and each one of those has a plaque under it commemorating a donation of at least $500,000 to the purchase of the property and construction of the building. Off to the right are the food bank offices. The food bank has approximately 95 full-time employees, and most of them work here, but there's 20 regional food banks, and this food bank directly runs 4 of those, and each one of those has 2 or 3 paid employees at there as well. And when you pulled in today, off to my left, you saw a 100 by 100 fenced-off area. That's the learning garden. It's also run by volunteers. It teaches people how to organically garden and make the most out of their garden space. And it normally generates about 8,000 pounds of food into the system. This room to my left is the Collins Nutritional Kitchen, and it's ran by volunteer chefs, and it offers a 6-week course in how to plan meals and budget for meals and cook healthy and pretty much everything you need to do to run a kitchen. Okay, we'll go out here now and to the left. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I may not have the answer. I'll try.
Dean of the Delta Degree Program, Dr. Tony Long. Share her experiences and results.
I was curious, do you know who made the bowls on the wall? Are those local artists?
I can't remember her name off right at the top of my head. Yes, she is.
Oh, it's thrown in the thing.
Okay, this is the PGE perishables repack room. This is normally a cold room, and this is where food that needs to be refrigerated or frozen food is all handled. And it's also the location of the Fresh Alliance. And the Fresh Alliance is an alliance that the food bank has with local grocery stores. Any fresh food that they have, several days prior to it expiring and being thrown away, they'll bring it to the food bank, and then we package it up and turn it over within 24 hours. Either we send it out to the pantries or we freeze it, depending on what it is. And a lot of food goes through here. Approximately 8 million pounds of food here goes right through here. It's a real successful plant these days. So we'll have to warehouse. Okay, last year, approximately 85,000 hours were donated by volunteers, and that's the equivalent of about $1.5 million in wages or 45 full-time employees. So the volunteer workforce we have is pretty essential to our existence. We couldn't operate without it. So your work is very important to us. And the warehouse size is the total size of the building is 108,000 square feet, and 94,000 of that is warehouse space. And it serves a dual purpose. Most of it is for a statewide area, and the food bank covers all of Oregon and Clark County. And also one of the regional food banks is located here, and that's the Metro Services area, and that's the area right behind us. And the food bank kind of operates like a big wheel, and this being the hub of the wheel. And the food goes from here to the 20 regional food banks, and from there goes to 930 different helping agencies. You'll see a lot of beer and wine boxes here. We don't actually have any beer and wine here. Warehouser donates us all our boxes, and they give us whatever they can't sell, which happens to be a lot of beer and wine boxes. Okay, they call each one of these a bay, and each one of these bays holds 8,000 pounds of food. And if we were at capacity, we could hold 4 million pounds of food at any given time. And if we were to distribute food at our current rate, it would take about 6 weeks to empty out the warehouse if we didn't bring any food into it. And totally throughout the whole state and Clark County, a lot of the food we collect doesn't actually come into here. If, like say, they have a postal food workers drive, it'll stay in the regions where it's collected. But the total network of the food moved is 58 million pounds. And of that, 31 million pounds goes through this very building. And the food sources are 61% comes from the food industry, 16% comes from food drives, 13% is purchased, and 10% comes from the USDA. Okay, most of the people that get help from the Oregon Food Bank get it in the form of a food bank box. And that's about 40 to 45 pounds of food, and it's designed to last a family of 4 between 4 to 6 days. And approximately 250,000 people per month eat from an Oregon Food Bank box. And of that number, 72,000 are children, and 46% of those households have at least one full-time working adult. And they estimate annually around 900,000 food boxes to be distributed. This is where we were actually supposed to be working tonight, but for some reason they changed us to up front. This is the Food Recovery Center, and this is kind of the flip side of the Fresh Alliance. Anything that's non-perishable that a grocery store doesn't want, they put it in a banana box and they ship it to us. And it's not necessarily food items. Like I said, it's pretty much anything. It's paper towels, it's toilet paper, toothpaste. Anything that a grocery store has they don't want, they put it here, we sort it out, and we ship that out with the food shipments because people also have a need for that product as well. And in fact, most of this food is not outdated. Sometimes they just, I don't know why. Some of it's a little bit damaged, might have a bad label, a little slightly crushed box. Sometimes there's not anything wrong with it. For some reason they don't want it, or it's been on their shelf too long, or they box it up and ship it to us. We'll head out here now and to the right.
Oh, you can't feel?
Yeah. It's all that brown stuff going in the sun.
This is the freezer. It's 8,500 square feet. It's the equivalent of 20,000 home freezers. And it's minus 10 in there. It's very dark.
That'll take your breath away. It's cold right now. I'm not sweating anymore.
Yeah.
We have clothes rack out here where the guys go in there and got all their stuff hanging that they wore when they went down. What they do with it.
those guys came out.
Yeah.
This is our refrigerator, 4,000 square feet, and it's the equivalent of 6,000 home refrigerators. And you can go in there too.
Much more doable. Got some bad rock.
Our fruits and vegetables that we get, they go in there before they're sorted. So some of them are spoiled.
Now, how long ago was this place built?
2001. We have a new facility now in Beaverton. It's geared up mostly to hold fresh and frozen food, but we were getting so much of that that we were turning it away. And now we have a new facility to cover that. Just opened in September.
Whereabouts is it in Beaverton?
It's right on the Cornell Road in Evergreen. Right in that area.
So they do sorting and things like that out there, like you guys do
Yeah,
here?
they do regular food there too, but they're mostly set up to do frozen and fresh food. But they do this stuff as well. They have a facility where they package up their frozen and fresh stuff and then do it on a conveyor belt right into the freezer. So we don't have to forklift it around. Okay, one more stop. I'd like to thank you all again for coming here tonight. Like I said, your volunteer work is essential to our operation. There's many ways you can help. You can, of course, volunteer again and tell your friends and family and coworkers, get them to volunteer. You can also donate money. For every $1 that goes into the food bank, that generates 5 pounds of food into the system. And the food bank operates on less than a 5% budget. So we're done with the tour, and Robert should have some numbers for us.
Great.
Carl?
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, thank you.